So a bird pooped in my window, and I'm not even mad. I'm impressed because I have a roof on this patio. So a bird would have had to like precision strike or somehow to get poop there. So it gave me a dumb question. How'd they do it? To find out, I needed to measure the exact dimensions of the blast zone, where the poop was in the window, how tall the ceiling is, and even the height of the roof. I put all the measurements into Excel and recreated my patio centered around the bird poop in stunning 2D. Now, the investigation really begins. From the start, I had two hypotheses. We'll call them bomber and launcher. Let's look at launcher first. It's possible a bird seated on my deck railing lightened their load before takeoff directly back onto my window. How fast would they have needed to launch that poop to achieve this? The railing is horizontally 4'9" from the window. The railing was a little less than a foot higher than the impact point. We'll assume the bird launched the poop perfectly horizontally towards the window. Using kinematic equations for projectile, we find that the bird would have had to launch the poop towards the window at 5.9 meters per second, or over 13 miles per hour. I tried to research the ejection speed of bird poop, but it seems to be a disappointingly understudied topic. I found a study on projectile penguin poo, which won the 2005 Ig Nobel Prize in Fluid Dynamics. It found that based on the maximum distance reached by the feces, the velocity of the poo was only around 2 meters per second, or only less than 5 miles per hour. Penguin poop ejection speed is also uniquely high, hence the studies. If a random bird in Ohio could poop almost 3 times as fast, I'm sure some other bird dork would have raised awareness by now. A quick tangent, biologist Dr. V.B. Meyer-Rochow has concluded that compared to seed-eating birds, meat-eating penguins poop faster because their feces contains more uric acid and is more irritating. Drawing a line from 2 points, we can only conclude that if I discovered a new bird, it would be a monster. Never satisfied. Always hunting. Always hungry. So either I've made a horrifying, groundbreaking discovery in avian defecation, or we can rule this out. More likely, a bird flying overhead just happened to be going the right speed and pooped at the right time. Just for simplicity, we'll assume the poop comes out with only horizontal velocity. This assumption lets us use the same equations as before to find the trajectory. Unfortunately, there are infinitely many ways the bird could have hit the target, so we'll need to find a way to characterize all the possibilities. First, we need an upper bound. All trajectories that would interfere with the roof should be eliminated. If a trajectory goes through the origin, as well as the corner of the roof, we can trace the line for all possible launch locations that go through those 2 points. Every valid poop attack would need to be launched from under this line. For those who care, here's 3 seconds of all the algebra I did, and here's the curve I got. After a couple sanity checks, I think it's good. Now, we'll use the same equations for the deck railing, and we have an upper and lower bound to work with. Okay, next are curves to show how fast the bird was going. Based on like 1 minute of Googling, I found that typical birds fly between 15 and 28 miles per hour. If we pick velocities a little outside of that, and a couple in between, we can create a poop velocity gradient. Using the same original equations with fixed velocities and an independent x-naught, we can generate curves with equal velocities. Here's the final plot. The sanity check or two, and we're looking good. Now we have a plot showing all the possible places the poop was launched from. What can we conclude from it? Realistically, the bird was flying at or just below roof level, and at typical speed, that puts the drop zone right about here. It's entirely possible that the bird pooped on my window, and most likely from this zone, which I guess is nice to know, because the alternative is horrifying.